Hi there, my name is Robin Rosti from robinrosti.com. Today we're going to talk about how to brainstorm ideas for writing. Before I got into the habit of writing and publishing on a schedule, I found brainstorming really hard. In fact, I got to the point where it was like terrifying to sit down at the computer to write. The blank page would stare at me, judging. Sometimes there would be so much pressure, I would actually just give in and go watch TV instead. So after long enough of that happening, I would skip the pretending to write part altogether and just sit down on the couch. So obviously this pattern didn't make me feel very good about myself. So after allowing the self-pity to drag out for an awkward amount of time, I pulled up my socks and I learned how to brainstorm. And I'm pleased to say, if I can do it, you can do it. All right. This exercise is something I picked up over the years and I've made it work for me. So there's many variations on it. So take what works for you and then do more of that. And I hope that I can at least set you on the path to brainstorming effectively. So because now I have a lot of ideas and brainstorming is part of my process, writing is no longer a terrifying experience. This is actually now something I look forward to and find a lot of pleasure in. I hope that this method helps you overcome that terror or the judgy blank page. And I think the reason it works is because you're never wondering what to write. You just take something off your list and riff on it. It's, I don't know, a little brain trick, and it totally works, at least for me. Okay, so the first thing you need to do though, before you can come up with really good ideas, is understand who your ideal reader is. So it seems a little strange, but really you need to be thinking of who is going to be reading what you write for this to work. At least for me, that's what made the big switch. When I'm just writing for myself, I really get in my own head. But if I'm writing for someone else, all of a sudden it has a purpose and I think about how I would explain something to them. Now, maybe this is because I'm a prescriptive nonfiction writer, so how to is like what I do. But take it for what it is. If you know who you're writing to, it gets a whole lot easier. This person has questions. They are trying to figure stuff out. So you think about who your reader is and try and answer the questions they're asking. You think about what they focus on, what they're obsessed with. Can you write about that? On social media, what does your ideal reader like sharing? What kind of articles? What kind of photos? What do they talk about? What are their interests? What are the things they most want or need or desire? You might know more than you think about your ideal reader. Okay, so once you know the answers to these questions, answer this one. What problem are you solving for your ideal reader through your writing? I'll say that again. What problem are you solving for your ideal reader through your writing? If you're thinking about your ideal reader, you should have a few words and phrases jotted down. You don't have to go into a ton of depth, but I do hope you have a few ideas written down. I pulled out my brainstorming sheet just to share an example of what I came up with when I did this last. My target reader is a freelance writer. I offer content strategy systems. They are struggling with time management, strategy, organization, and overwhelm. I help busy people do marketing. Pretty simple, but it's also clear, and it gives me an absolute focus on what to write about. Okay, so you've heard what I came up with. Now, this is not exactly the first version of it. This is something I've put together after going through this a few times. So maybe go through this process again and think about your ideal reader, and now write about absolutely everything you can think of for something you'd like to write about one day. So it can be super vague, it can be very specific, it can be long, it can be short, just as much as you can think of. This is just like a free writing brainstorm, brain dump. Write as much as you can about things you want to write about one day. I think this works best if you put yourself on a timer, so maybe 5 minutes. Give yourself 5 minutes. Write down everything you can think of, big brain dump, and come back. All right. Let's pretend you didn't just keep watching and you paused the video for 5 minutes, did a big brain dump. Now look at the list you came up with and compare it to your first list. Are you seeing any really good alignments? Are you seeing something that you want to write about that your ideal reader would also be interested in reading about? Pay attention to that. Now try and see some more common threads. Start drawing lines between them. Okay, these are things to pay attention to, and these are your first really good ideas of what to write about. Hopefully from this process, you're going to find 4 topics, okay? So 4 topics, so a word or phrase that matches these criteria: what you want to write about and what your ideal reader wants to read about. Okay, so 4 topics. I will come back to my brainstorming and share the 4 topics that I came up with, which you may have already caught when I gave you my first rendition. Topic number 1, time management. Topic number 2, strategy. Topic number 3, organization. Topic number 4, overwhelm. Pretty straightforward. Those are easy words, but I had to go the long way to get there. It wasn't like super clear to me. I had to do a lot of just soul searching and thinking and researching and paying attention. Okay, here's the last step. Decide how much you're going to write and break it down into topics and then subcategories. So think of it like a blog. So if my blog topic, let's say I have 4 topics on my blog. So time management, now let's break it down into subcategories. And let's say that I want to write 1 article per month on time management. So I think of everything I can that could go under time management, and then jot that down and do that again for my next topic and my next topic. So for example, I have 4 topics. I decide I want to write 1 blog post per week. Then you'll need 52 subcategories. If I want to write 1 blog post per month, 12 subcategories. If I'm doing the 52 categories, because I've already done the math on this, I'll just tell you that's around 13 ideas per topic. So it seems like a lot, but actually it's pretty manageable right now at this point because we're just thinking of a word or phrase. So we're not like writing the whole thing. So here is mine for time management. A few ideas I had: getting things done, working many jobs, working full-time and freelancing. So that's what I came up with for that. My next one, strategy, I came up with a few more ideas. Maybe that one's more interesting to me. How to get higher paying clients, money for time and that loop that you get stuck in, funnels and how to use them, marketing, and content planning. So see where I'm going with this? All of a sudden, I'm building out a strategy. Okay, what if you can't think of subcategories? Or what if you have a few ideas, but you can't get all the way to like 13? Here are a few suggestions. Pay attention to questions people ask you. If you hear a question that you think your ideal reader would ask, then write it down. If you're in any online networking groups, take a look around and see the types of questions being asked and the conversations happening. Again, if you see something your ideal reader might be interested in, write it down. Go through your emails, see what types of topics the people you follow are addressing. Is there anything interesting? Is there a new angle, a different spin you can put on the topic and help your ideal reader in some way? Write it down. Pick a topic from your list of, I'd like to write about this one day. Maybe it's not a top 4 topic, but it might be a subcategory. So don't just throw away that list if you didn't like whittle, all the ones you didn't choose as your top 4, they're not garbage ideas. They might actually fit within here somewhere. If you try these ideas but you're still stuck, there are other ways to come up with ideas, and I've listed them out on my blog post, so you can see them at robinrossity.com/brainstorm-ideas. All right, so let's recap. Steps for brainstorming ideas. Number 1, put yourself in the shoes of your ideal reader and think about what she would like to read. Number 2, write a quick list of absolutely everything that you're interested in writing about one day. Number 3, compare the first 2 lists and see where they intersect. Look for 4 main topics from this process. Remember, you're looking for topics that you want to write about and your ideal reader wants to read about. 4th, brainstorm subcategories to fit under the 4 main topics by looking at what people are already asking and watching what other people are talking about and writing things that you think your ideal reader will resonate with. All right. I'd love to hear your brainstorming ideas. If they're different from this, I'm up for trying new things, so let me know. And also remember that there is a free fillable worksheet to go through this process on your own, so make sure to download it at robinrossity.com/brainstorm-ideas. Talk to you soon.